The last time we faced the same opponent, it was a heartbreaking 1-1 draw. But this time around, thanks to a brace from our captain, leader, legend. Yes, thanks to a brace from Sunil Chhetri, we got the job done against Bangladesh by beating them 2-0. But was the performance good enough? So, without wasting any more time, let's get onto the video. Let's start from the starting lineup itself. So Igor Stimac this time went with the 3-5-2 formation or a 3-4-1-2 formation, in which Gurpreet Singh Sandhu was the goalkeeper, Chinglan Sena, Subhashish Bose and Sandesh Shingen was the defensive line, Bipin Singh, Glenn Martins, Brandon Fernandes, Suresh Singh and Udanda was the midfield, and the Sunil Chhetri and the Manveer Singh forward line. So from the lineup itself, it was conveyed that we were going for an attacking approach and we were going for the 3 points. But it wasn't so easy. Bipin and Udanda had a kind of a very bad performance in my opinion, and Manveer also wasn't good enough. But we will talk about the negatives in the later part of the video. Let's begin with the positives. Talking about the positives, we can't leave out the name of Brandon Fernandes from it. Such good was his performance yesterday. He single-handedly created 7 chances and was the orchestrator of our attacks yesterday night. His set-piece ability, long passing and also penetrative passes were excellent. Some of his crosses and some of his set pieces that were delivered was amazing, and we could have easily scored almost 3 goals from it if it wasn't for our forwards missing those chances. Now, other positive is of Igor Stimac. Credit where it's due. That man has got a lot of criticisms and negatives, but yesterday his tactics was on point. In my opinion, the substitutions, he realized the mistakes in the first half. Bipin and Udanda was substituted first, and Archie Kurinian and Yasir Mohammed were brought on. More on them later in the video. And towards the end of the game, he brought out Manveer Singh, who had a pretty dodgy game in my opinion, and brought in Listin Kolaku, who made some very good runs, but unfortunately no one could pick him out. If he was picked out, I think we could have a lot of more dangerous chances, and the goalkeeper of the Bangladesh team would have been tested more in my opinion. Sunil Chhetri capitalized on 2 chances and got 2 goals. Of course, he missed 2 sitters, but still, that man can be relied upon whenever we want him to score and we need him to score. The other positive player in my opinion was Glenn Martins. He had 92% passing accuracy. Now, some may say that he didn't make enough forward passes, but in my opinion, the role assigned to him was of a defensive midfielder and was to control the game, string those passes together, to hold the ball, and he did exactly that. Considering this is his second game in Indian national team colours, he had a phenomenal display. Now, talking about the other player, Suresh had a great game. He is the Indian version of N'Golo Kante. No, I'm not overrating him. He was there everywhere on the pitch. He's like a pocket dynamite. He was there when we needed him in the defense. He was there when we needed him in the attacking side. He was there in the left side of the pitch. He was there in the central part of the pitch, orchestrating the play. And he was also there in the right side of the pitch. Whenever we needed him, he was everywhere throughout the pitch, throughout the time he was playing. So other positive was of Chinglan Sena. He had a great game in my opinion. He had a great composure on the ball. He was playing those long passes very neatly, and he was also defensively very stable. Standout player from the defensive section was Chinglan Sena for me. Now, in the second half, Archie Kurinian was brought in and he had a phenomenal display too. He was there in the defense when we needed him, and I think this formation perfectly suits Arsik because he can play in the defensive section for whenever we need him and also contribute attackingly too. He played that perfect cross for Sunil Chhetri to score that first goal, which ended our goal drought. And also Suresh Singh had also got his name in the assist list. Talking about the negatives, who after Sunil Chhetri? Yes, this question and the Indian national team has been linked for ages now, but still we haven't been able to find an answer to it. Yesterday's game was the prime example of that. Sunil Chhetri scored 2 goals after missing 2 simple chances, but he redeemed himself with 2 goals, and we can't always rely on this particular man in the coming years. Manveer Singh, he is inconsistent. He has the quality, but he can't do it regularly. Listin Kolako, he is still young and inexperienced. Ishan Pandada, he is inexperienced, but we may see him come in the Afghanistan game, but he needs time to develop. JJ is always injured, and CK Vineet was another option, but he seems to be past his prime. So who after Sunil Chhetri? That question still remains, and we couldn't convert our chances properly. The game could have ended 5-0 or even 6-0 if we had finished those beautiful crosses by Brandon Fernandes, our beautiful chances created by him. But we couldn't. That's the biggest negative from the game. Other negatives can be included of the lack of forward vision from the midfielders. Subhashish Bose was a bit dodgy sometimes, but these things were small mistakes and can be rectified easily. But this one mistake of not finishing our chances will come to haunt us in big games. Games like these will not happen every time. Not disrespect to Bangladesh, but they are very low ranked than us. But when we face higher teams, we have to convert those minimal chances we get. And without Sunil Chhetri, it's doubtful that we can convert those chances. This question needs to be addressed in very quickly, and otherwise Indian football is in great danger. Adding to the point I mentioned earlier about the forward department, we had predicted Listin Kolako in our predicted 11 before the game, but the coach went with Manveer Singh. Now, no disrespect to Manveer Singh, he's a great player who has got a lot of potential, and we saw that in the ISL campaign with ATK Mohan Bagan. But yesterday, his ball control was not up to the mark. He couldn't finish his chances, but he couldn't make those dribbles and all. But Listin Kolako, once he came, he made those runs, he was confident on the ball. But that's the biggest question. Was starting Manveer Singh over Listin Kolako even the right decision? So comment below your thoughts. Also, I would like to hear your thoughts on this. Now let's talk about Igor's substitutions in a bit detail. Ashik Kurinian and Yasser Mohammed were the first two substitutions that Igor brought in. Ashik and Yasser were instant impacts. Ashik was everywhere in that left side of the pitch. He was contributing defensively, and some of the runs he made were fantastic. His was the beautiful cross that Sunil Chhetri converted home, which ended the goal drought for Indian football team, the open play goal drought for Indian football team, and most importantly, the end of the winless run of Indian national team for the past 2 years. He was playing very good game, and Yasser Mohammed, he was brought in to get into that pockets of spaces behind the Bangladeshi defenders. He did a very good decent performance in my opinion, but the lad has a lot to improve. The next substitution, so Manveer Singh being replaced by Listin Kolako. As I said earlier in the video, he made some very good runs. Unfortunately, it wasn't picked out by anyone. The other two substitutions were of Adil Khan coming in and also Pranay Halder coming in to give us a bit of defensive stability as we were already leading 1-0. So that's it for the review of the India versus Bangladesh match. Now going into the Afghanistan match, we have learnt our lessons. We know which all players need to be rested for that match and which all players need to be brought in for that match. So let's capitalize on this win and extend our winning run. Now it's time to establish a winning run after the losing streaks. Now we need to get the wins. We need to get the job done against Afghanistan and seal that third place in the World Cup and Asian Cup qualifiers, so that we have a much smoother campaign in the Asian Cup qualifiers going forward. Now that's it for this video. If you like this video, give this video a thumbs up. Also share this video with all your friends. We are at the moment at 3.12k subscribers. Let's reach 5k subscribers first and let's build on that. So subscribe to the channel if you are new here, and also hit that bell icon so that you never miss an update from All India Football. That's it for this video. Bye.